Hello, you board game degenerates. Welcome to another episode of Crowdfunding Countdown, where we're going to take a look at every single board game campaign finishing up in the next week. That's right. Every single one, except for the ones that I don't want to cover, or I miss, or incite you to FOMO in a world that just wants your wallet. But before we get into it, I've got to give a shout out to my newest patrons because they understood that the person who wants their wallets is me. Shout out to Not Gene. Who's not Gene. And shout out to Chick. Thank you both for jumping on board, supporting the channel. I'm thrilled. Gene said he saw my rabies and thought, this is madness. And I said, no, this is rabies. So yeah, thanks to both Chick and Not Gene for supporting the channel, and thank you to all of my existing patrons as well. It really makes a meaningful difference in my life because it forces me to come back to this week after week, even though I want to stop. Please stop. No, don't stop. It gives me something to do with my day other than looking out the window and waiting for the next board game night, I suppose. So again, thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you're able to support for a couple bucks a month, you want to throw me a quarter, like the gumball machine of a human being that I am, for every video, you can. And if you can't, that's okay too. So let's start. Let's see what's in this week. Honestly, I know we do this week after week, but there's probably nothing good. Quite legitimately, I don't think there's a single thing here that I, looking through, have been, oh, I'm excited. Actually, no, that's not true. There's one. There's one, but it's the reprint of that one. Which one is it? I'll never tell. It was in the thumbnails. Trickerion. But let's check out this one first. We have Solar Titans. Prepare for the epic capital ship duels. Command your ship in fast-paced head-to-head combat with a blend of deck building and tableau gameplay. The definitive edition. This is the definitive edition of Solar Titans. I think I've seen this one before. I think I've covered this one before because it looks familiar with the shipbuilding aspect. If you're ever wondering if I've covered something, well, you can look through the 3,000 campaigns that I've almost covered and just control F it. You control F'ers. I don't even know what this is called. Star. Oh yeah, Star. 100, 600. Solar Titans. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Solar Titan. On 2024. Was it in 2023? Yeah. See? July 18th, 2023, episode 98. I remember that. See, I knew it. It's the first off of episode 98 as well. That's nice that they're doing a little reprint. They haven't raised as much as they had the last time I was checking them out, but I was checking them out a little bit late last time. Oh, is this because I have my VPN on? I'm not going to see everything in Canadian? Oh, no. Oh, okay, good. I will. And speaking of VPNs, have you heard of NordVPN? No, I don't use NordVPN. I just got the one that I got for free from the time my computer exploded. Very recently. That was stressful. That was the last time I was filming some Iridia playthroughs, and Zach and I are going to hang out today, and we're going to film some more Iridia, which I'm stoked about. Which, if you have been watching those playthroughs and you want to see them up to date, you can. We have 2 episodes out, but we'll have 3 more that are waiting to be released. I'm going to do them every month or so to not overwhelm, because I know not everybody likes to watch playthroughs, but Zach and I are having a great time with it. And it's really fun to be filming it for posterity, to be able to watch it back. And it keeps us accountable too, which has been really great. All right. Yeah, the premise of Solar Titans, if you don't know of it, I think this is just a horrible decision, though. No U.S. tariffs. Honestly, that's a huge red flag for me. When a company says no U.S. tariffs and will cover the U.S. tariffs for all backers, well, okay, you'd have to cover it. You don't have to cover it for all backers. You have to cover it for the U.S. backers, for one. And 2, like, you don't know what the situation is going to be. And I think it's completely irresponsible to say, hey, yeah, like as a completely irresponsible business decision to say, yep, we're going to cover all U.S. tariffs, instead of saying you're going to cover them because that's your country. Like when VAT came up, you know what I mean? Most board game companies are like, sorry, we're not paying VAT. And so I don't know why most board game companies are saying, yeah, we're going to pay the U.S. tariffs when they haven't been paying VAT. A very similar situation. People get charged a crap load because of VAT, and they should be charged a crap load because of U.S. tariffs. Really? Just like I get to benefit from no tariffs and universal health care because I contribute to it through my taxes when I have an okay year. Anyway, the cool part about this is that you're drawing cards. Every card that you get is, well, some of the cards that you get are going to be parts of your ship you're going to have a different layout of your ship, and that will sort of intrinsically determine some difference between the ship parts and what you can add on what and what you can draft, etc. You can also get additional crew cards, but it's a standard deck builder, right? They give you power, they give you money, they give you ship power, they give you defense. And so you're going back and forth between firing your ship's cannons and then creating an engine. I thought it looked cool last time. I think it still looks cool now. It's $25 for the definitive edition, $35 for Canada. Shipping to the US is 10 to 14, Canada is 13 to 18 plus GST. Well, okay, I'm sorry, Solar Titans. Why are you not covering the GST? How come you're not covering the GST for me if you're covering US tariffs, right? How come you're not covering the VAT if you're covering US tariffs? Like, I don't mean to bomb on Solar Titans. I'm just trying to use this to make my point. Absorbing some costs just because when somebody implemented them just because is a bad business decision, especially when those costs could be 1,000%. You don't know. We're dealing with an oligarch, you know? Sorry, we're dealing with somebody controlled by an oligarchy who wants to be an authoritarian, which hopefully means the tariffs will shut down soon because, you know, Amazon doesn't like it. Anyway, that finishes Tuesday, May 6th at 10 p.m. I think it looks cool. I think it's a really cool deck builder concept. I thought it looked cool last time, but I think not charging or incorporating tariff costs or saying to your backers, we're going to incorporate them, is a very irresponsible business decision, especially when you haven't raised money and you don't have a lot of capital because your other one didn't raise money. Their last project raised like $25,000, right? How much money do they have? How much leeway do they have? And why are you taking the risk that it's all going to just be sucked up? Just seems like a really bad idea. But if you're interested, yeah, I do think this is cool. I like the ship aspect of it. I like that it's just, you know, you're shooting back and forth, creating this little tableau to upgrade your phasers, that what you have is based upon your ship format. I think it looks cool. So that finishes Tuesday, May 6th at 10 p.m. Okay, let's keep moving on to this one. Drink! The party game with actual gameplay, wild twists, and endless fun. Drinking optional. I'll be the judge of if there's actual gameplay, because I'm on the internet and I get to do it. Is it about strategy? I mean, like, it's just another draw a card and play a card game. So their actual gameplay is have a bunch of random cards that say drink, do a challenge and drink. So it's just drinking. I mean, it's the same as every other drinking game, and there is no real gameplay. If you want a drinking game with actual gameplay, go with Heroes of Barcadia. Way better. But if this interests you, that finishes Wednesday, May 7th at 12 p.m. I had to investigate the claims, okay? That's what I do here. I have to investigate the claims. Now I'm going to investigate this one because, I don't know, 7 people are backing it? Probably nothing. Frantically grow as many rainbows as possible to collect the most pots of gold. But I look at everything here, okay? Hoidly toidly toy, let's get our pots of gold out there. Penny. No, that's Scottish. Well, Penny is. So Desmond, to be clear, hoidly toidly toidly is Irish, right? Naturally. It's the national anthem, I feel. Respect to all Irish men and women out there. But Penny is Desmond from Lost, and Desmond's Scottish. We have to go back! Perfect Desmond impression. Oh, I hope... Oh, dang it. I really just wanted it to just be the one picture and music the whole time. We have to grow! Now I'm in Scottish. I'm no actor. Maybe one day I'll be an actor. Afterwards, the rainbow just shatters into the ether. If you ever wanted to see a rainbow be built up and then just crumble into the darkness, if you look up and you see the rain, you see that beautiful ray of hope shining out, and then suddenly you see it disintegrate in front of you. But then gold falls from the sky and you run towards the end of the rainbow, and suddenly you realize that you can't find the end of the rainbow. In fact, the end of the rainbow seems to be completely beyond your grasp, always getting further and further away. And there's that rush, that feeling, that sensation as you chase towards a pot of gold, a potential future, a potential windfall of something out there that is more than the humdrum existence that you've been living, something that is filled with a spectrum of light, and also something that is worth money in today's valuable currency. You rush, you run, you drive in your car, you hop into a boat because you've reached an ocean, and you say, no, I see the rainbow just beyond the horizon. You hop into that boat, you haven't gotten your boating license yet, but that doesn't matter. You hire a fish captain. Yes, you heard me, a captain who is also a fish, not a fisherman, a fish captain. He's emerged from the sea. You say, of course, this must be a sign. It's a magical land. It's a rainbow. I am on the right path. And he says, yarg. "Are me mateys, are we going to see the rainbow then today?" And you said, "How did you know, fish captain?" And he said, "I see whatever the sea sees." And you say, "That makes about as much sense as you. Let's onward." And you hop into his little dinghy and he rips on the cord because, of course, it's a motorboat, but it's also like a very large dinghy, but he has to hand crank it. He's got to, he's got to crank that boat. And damn it, I broke my flow. Where were we? All right, he cranks the boat. He cranks that boat, and you set off into the waves. But it's the perfect storm. You see George Clooney in the boat next to you. He's got a fisherman's net, and he's chasing your fish captain. And you realize, oh no, you've allied with George Clooney's mortal enemy, the biggest catch, the Moby Dick, if you would. And so you head into the waves, the dinghy bouncing up and down, the waves crashing around you, but still you set your sights on that one pot of gold. You reach into the middle of the ocean right where the rainbow is supposed to be, and yet you see it further on beyond the horizon, and then you see it crumble. Then you see it fall into the ocean like a skyscraper, a bridge, or a tall building, and splash, and you actually see the physical rainbow, and it falls right in front of you, creating such a typhoon that Poseidon would be jealous, and the ocean waves sway, and they go around your dinghy, and you see the arcs coming up around you, and you see the waves going above your head, and you look to your fish captain, and you say, "Is this the end?" And he says, "For you, laddie, I'm a fish." And he jumps into the waves, and you go, "Fish captain, I thought we had something." And as you look up, as the waves envelop you, bringing you down into the deep along with your dinghy, you think, well, maybe I shouldn't have followed that rainbow. So I think the game's going to be something like that. That's what I'm hoping for. All rainbow plants must start with their hex-based color, purple. To make the plant grow further, you got to add colors. Once the colors are stacked in order, you're awarded 1 of 5 pots of gold. 1 of 5. This game is you draw colors out of a bag, and you hope that you draw the red one. Let's move on to this one, Mankind Madness. Ooh, the game we've already lost? Yes. A satirical? Probably not. Board game? Probably not. For 2 to 8 players? Probably. About prejudices and the destruction of our planet, with lots of schadenfreude and dark humor. You know why I clicked on this, because I think it's going to be another funny card game. I'm sounding it beforehand. We're drawing it first because I'm so confident. Well, it's going to be better than Monopoly. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. It's Pandemic meets Cards Against Humanity. That's my guess. Let's see. Well, this makes sense. At least there's some sensible characters in here. You can cosplay as, the politician, or you can cosplay as somebody who actually knows things. Honestly, this is something I've wanted for a while. We should bring back the tinfoil hats because they help with the raise. Like, they really do help with raise. They really do help with anyone trying to get your thoughts. But you know what thoughts should be freely given? Those about the correct nature of our Earth. I don't care that my sister lives in Australia, okay? I just don't think she wants to see me. And that's the reason why I bet she, because I don't think Australia exists. Okay, Ben. Sure. Yeah, that's where you live. Okay, Giles. Yeah, right. I'm convinced if you walk out of Toronto, you fall off, which is why I stay home, okay? No, my favorite. So I went down a flat earth rabbit hole once upon a time because there's some amazing Facebook groups. There are amazing Facebook groups. It's so good. I was watching it and I had to go into the mirror because I've been holding this expression for like 40 minutes just watching all these videos, and I was like, what is this expression? It made me so happy. My favorite one is the argument of gravity, right? Okay, so this gravity thing exists. Well, tell me this, right? How does gravity know the difference between what is water and what is birds? That was the argument. It's my favorite quote. Oh, I quote it all the time. It's so funny. And then somebody took a globe. Okay, here's a globe, right? And then here's the plane. Plane goes, plane goes, plane goes, plane goes, plane goes. How does that work? How does it work? Anyway, what is this game about? Look, they're all laughing because they're being goofy. Okay, also, this is another tangent, but I mean, come on, that's all this game's good for, let's be real. my nemesis, my former friend, and now nemesis Josh, who is the second half of the Ballad Boys, to contextualize whenever I talk about him. He is neurotic, naturally. I mean, just look at him. Come on, you should know. And during COVID, he was like, no, the normal masks aren't enough. And so he got himself, no word of a lie, he got himself like a nuclear survival, like rubber gas mask. It was like one of these, yeah, like definitely like one of these things. Even worse, even worse. This one, I mean, looks like you're a painter, at least. It was like, it looked like a prop. It was the most heavy duty gas mask, so he could play this game. Josh and I are in the game, suing for copyright. Okay, so it's honestly, it's like Spy Alley. It's close to Spy Alley. Spy Alley's better. Not my kidney. Not my kidney. Okay, you know what? You know what? I take back the air horn. I really do take back the air horn. It is very much, I wouldn't call it satire. It's just people saying, "Oh, let's put a Donald Trump figure and put a Make America Great Again card and put up wall tokens." Nah, okay, whatever. Well, I guess you could call it satire, but I wouldn't call it very good satire. You know, it's good satire, Black Mirror. But this takes a lot of, this reminds me a lot of Spy Alley. I think Spy Alley is inherently better if you can get your hands on that game. I got it for like $10, which is a little roll and move game that you can kind of control the rolling and the moving at some point. You have to get 6 points and you have to get back to your home base. So in Spy Alley, you have to collect all the spy things for your particular character and then get back to your character's base. But everybody can see what you're collecting, and so they can then block you. They can call you out and say, you're the Brazilian spy, and then you are out of the game. There's player elimination. I don't know if it has that much in there, but this is essentially like walk around, visit places, and get back to your start. It's potentially fine. You know, it's going to be a big old Take That fest as well, where you're just playing random cards upon each other, but it is significantly better than I expected it to be. However, because 42 euros is about $48 US, and then in Canadian that's like 65 plus shipping, you know, 26 to get to Canada. I don't think anybody should ever be getting this game. It's way too expensive for what it is. But that being said, I think if you've never played a board game before and you're going off of Monopoly, this is definitely better than Monopoly, as their video suggests they wanted to put forward. So yeah, not as horrible as I thought. And you know what? Yeah, let's roll it back. We're rolling it back. Oh no, but there were, I mean, no, we're not rolling it back. We literally talked about, there's an Make America Great Again card, but no, but you're not reading the cards. A funny card game is one where you read the cards and you laugh. This one, at least, is a Take That fest. So we rolled it back. We rolled it back. The finish is Thursday, May 8th at 1:34 a.m. Moving along, this is the one that I'm excited about, and also what you should probably just get at retail. But we have Trickerion, the 10-year anniversary edition, celebrating 10 years of Magic with a brand new expansion and a stunning edition of all Trickerion-related content. I haven't played Trickerion. I've played other Mind Clash titles, such as Voidfall and Anachrony. Look, I can add Voidfall to my list. And Septima. I really like Septima. No, I'm not going to get a copy. Yeah, Trickerion's one that I've been interested in for a while. Oh, Trickerion started it all. Sweet. Yeah, very exciting. Trickerion, it's the 10th anniversary. That's cool. It's their birthday. I love that they keep referring to it as their birthday in there. That's just delightful. Trickerion is a great game if you like chunky Euros with a lot of moving parts. I have not played it, and yet I know this to be true, right? They say it's in the top 120 on Board Game Geek. They were like, it's top 150. Now it's the top 120. Maybe people are rating it because they really enjoy it. Hey, look, I've played both of those. The fact that it's 10 years old, though, is pretty cool in terms of the chunkiness and the combos that have existed or that were implemented. I feel like they must have really started off the big, heavy Euro craze, right? How to play Trickerion. And then, oh, wow, there's a whole list of how to play Trickerion stuff. All right, I watched a chunk of this Knights Around the Table video, which is a great video if you haven't seen it, and it rammed home what I was thinking already about this game, is that, of course, you don't need this anniversary edition if you've never played Trickerion before. Like, get that into your little skulls, because I need to get it into mine. Anytime one of these anniversary editions comes out, I think, oh yeah, I need everything. It's gonna be amazing. And then you get it and you're like, man, this game, the base game is so complicated and I have 120 other games and I won't play this enough to ever use any of the expansion content. We were talking a little bit about that in the Discord the other day. I think about this all the time. I think about this with the Anachrony big box, which I now have, and trying to work my way through the modules and the different expansion content and thinking, oh man, I am never getting through this. But I like that I have it because Anachrony is in my top 10 games, or was on my last ranking. I assume it still will be, or it'll be like 11 or something. And so getting all of these new expansions, if you don't play the game, you don't need more unless you are really a true fan. Even if people are telling you it's a must-have, everything's going to be a must-have. This new expansion just has this one guy in a cart who's running around from place to place and who's like, hey, you don't like the actions that you're doing over here? Come to me, I'll sell you some wares. This guy right here is the board game peddler. He's the one who's saying, hello there, lad. Come to me in a back alley. I'll be giving you what you want. You want an expansion? You want a campaign game? I got you covered. That's who that guy is. Yes, I just wanted to prove that I could do the accent. Okay, it's fine. The anniversary add-on stuff, the Arcane Arcs expansion, €25. Anniversary upgrade pack, €35, $40 Canadian. That feels reasonable. Arcane Arts expansion, and there's really, okay, I take it back. 2 new anniversary large coins, 4 custom standing pouches. You can just get a bunch of pouches, alternate art main board, and a secret workshop promo card. So you're getting an additional board that's just different art. These big boxes look impressive, but I don't know, also aren't the most efficient, which is a weird thing when they spend so much time on storage and whatever. But with Anachrony, they're like, oh yeah, combine this expansion, this module over here, and this module over here. It's generally pretty good. I don't have too many complaints, but I'm not overwhelmed with praise for their big box solutions in terms of storage. I do like that you can't get the base game here because they're like, you know what? You can go out to your store and get it. And let's see. All right, it's sold out right now. But if you think about it, it's like the base game is more than enough to get you all of that chunky Euro goodness, and it's for a really good price. So look for it at your retail stores. I wouldn't do this as the go-to unless you're sure that you like it, because the base game definitely has everything great already in it, and the expansions just give you more. I don't think they're going to give a rules book on this page, but honestly, that's okay. It's been around for 10 years. They have a really good how to play video, and I think for this one, because of all the weird closet cases, you probably want to watch a video about it instead. Oh, download the rulebooks. Okay, just kidding. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful Mind Clash. I love ya. And they give you all the different rule books for all the different expansions as well, and you can peruse through what each individual expansion does. And if you are getting this game sight unseen, that is absolutely something that you should do as you spend in your 5 rounds. I guess I didn't describe how it works, so I'll describe that really quickly. They're essentially, let's see if later on there's a better, okay, I don't know, I don't think there is. There's essentially 4 spaces on the game board. There's this space where you're bidding for the amount of actions that you'll have that round, kind of last will-ish. There's this round where you're getting supplies for your tricks. You're going to be sort of prepping your tricks and practicing your tricks, and then you're going to be performing your tricks on stage. So there's 4 different sections of the board where you're going to interact in various ways. Little, not mini games, but they're different worker placement aspects. Everybody has their own player board as well. You are going to assign the different characters that you have, their little circles, and then everybody before the round begins, you will put cards face down as to where you are putting your people. So it's a programming worker placement, if you will, or programming action selection, where you have your people, you're going to send them out to different spots, they have their marching orders, then they go, they collect tricks, which you then need more and more expensive material to make cooler. Somebody can come to your magic show and they can see you with a rabbit in a hat, or somebody can come to your magic show and they can see you with a lion in a hat. Obviously, the lion's more expensive. That's a direct example from the game. So yeah, I'd heard a lot about Trickerion before. Trickerion's often thrown around in modern Euro circles as something really crunchy and nice. I'm not as big a fan of programming, but there's that aspect of anticipating where your opponents are going to go, knowing where you are in the initiative order, and thinking, okay, how can I eke out some extra moves? I don't think the program is going to have that large effect anyway, because everybody programs and then you take one action at a time. So it's fine. Like, even if people are ahead of you in the initiative order, you can be like, yeah, okay, I know they're going there with their big boy. and they're probably going to go there first because they need the resources in order to do anything else. So that leaves me free to go to this spot first and know that I won't be blocked from getting what I want. These say discs. You know, I definitely thought they said something else as I was scrolling by quickly. That's the high level overview. It's a game that still feels overwhelming when you don't have it in person. I think in person it would, after you get a couple games in, you know, it's like anything. It's learning a new language, and Mind Clash games I find are the definition of learning a new language. This honestly seems a little more complex than Voidfall, with the amount of weird closet cases that don't really coalesce with the theme. See, this is the correct business decision. They might have to add a tariff surcharges to pledges in the US. This is addition to the shipping costs. Yep, your shipping would be $18, and then your tariff surcharge could be $25 to $29. I think that's great. I think it's good to be upfront about it. Shipping to Canada, $30 Canadian. Oh, thanks, Mind Clash. People don't convert it to our currency in the shipping table. They're just like, nah, it's US. It looks smaller. You'll be fine. It's clearly a marketing thing. I love that. What a classy move from Mind Clash. Mind Clash, I think, is a really wonderful company. I think the stuff that they do is incredible. I think Trickerion looks really cool, but there's no way that I'm going to spend $200 on a big box edition of something that I haven't played and is very complicated. And with all the modules, you're going to want to play this game at least 10 times before you add in any expansions to get the full meat of it, right? You'd be very happy playing it 10 times, probably 20, probably 40, and I think you'd be okay. You know? And so if you don't envision ever playing it that many times, you would think, wow, that's a lot of plays, and you don't get that many plays because you have a huge collection. That's, again, something to consider when backing this game. But if you're interested, check it out. Thursday, May 8th at 12 p.m. I like Mind Clash. It's a lovely company, so be good to check out. All right, Zach's coming over. We're going to play some Iridia, so I'm going to stop. Maybe I'll be in a different background for the next one, because I got to finish this tonight after Zach leaves. And I got to film some other stuff, too. Put the top down. It'll just be up in my place for like a week while I film everything. Love you, kiss kiss. See you in a millisecond. All right, next up we have Crusades. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Crusades. Oh, maybe it's Crusades? Who knows? Crusades is a strategy CDG board game depicting the series of religious wars between the Christians and the Muslims to control the Holy Lands. Yeah, that's what we want in a game right now with the world as it is. Great choice. That's what I want to play. Give me some religious hate. There's no hate like religious love. Wow, copy the game and all the stretch goals, €29. That's pretty good. Crusades is a card-driven strategy board game depicting the series of religious wars between the Christians and the Muslims to control the Holy Lands. Each player takes the role of blah blah blah. Both players must siege enemy cities to control the Christian kingdoms of Sicilian Armenia and Eastern Roman Empire, Byzantio. Also, at the same time, they must defend their imperial cities from the enemies. The game lasts 7 rounds, and in each round, 2 historical event cards determine the conditions of the current round. At the end of the game, the number of the cities sieged, the number of winning battles, the control of the Christian kingdoms, and the armies that control Jerusalem are compared. The side with the most wins wins. You want to win? Win! Okay, let's see the rulebook. Only 9 pages. Wow. Well, okay, 18. Each side has their own action cards. Everybody gets 2 different action cards, different event cards, etc. At a 6-player game, each player chooses a leader. When there are less than 6 players, yeah, you probably want to do 2. Some of them must take the reins of more than 1 leader. Passing. We are no cowards. Passing is a dishonor we shall not bear. Okay, so a card will have a number of different actions. Your leaders can play cards whenever they want if you're playing in a multiple person game. The actions are move your army, battle, adjust different tracks, steal supply from other people, dysentery, cancel a call to arms action, so like counterattacks, counterplay, reactions. So if you're just playing two-handed, you'll still have to draw the cards into each specific leader, because each specific leader, you won't have like a whole hand that you can distribute amongst everybody. Cool, so there's a number of things that can happen in battle. Essentially, it's card-driven. You're going to have strength on a board, but you can also have cards that will stop you from adding in strength. You can add in strength through your cards. Everything is card-driven. It's all going to be modified by your cards. So it's a game about holding back on your actions, timing out when to play your reinforcements, lots of battle action cards to go back and forth. Everybody has their own little army power that they travel with, and it'll slowly be whittled down over the course of the game. And when you have no army, you die. Okay. Yeah, it seems all right. The perfect gateway war game. I would buy that. You know, you're moving your people across the battle. You're trying to hit down choke points. most of what you can do is through that card decision making. You're going to have limited actions that you can access. 29 is pretty good. I mean, that's 46 Canadian, and then shipping is, I don't know, is it here? No, it's not included there. I mean, there's no, why is there no shipping quote? Shipping right here. Okay, here we go. Our estimated delivery will be in October 2025. Be printed and shipped from the EU. Worldwide shipping 9 to 12 euro. I don't know. It's like 60 bucks. It doesn't really wow me, but I could see there might be some interesting team play happening there. I'm happy that it's funded. So if you're interested, that finishes Thursday, May 8th at 12:06 p.m. Okay, next up, we've got this one, Starleap. Cosmic frogs, dinos, and ninjas race to collect the most space bugs and achieve intergalactic glory. I've always wanted intergalactic glory. Maybe now is finally my time. Oh, it's Candyland. Well, it's better Candyland, to be fair. How to play. You choose a cadet so that you can level up and upgrade your abilities. Each cadet will have certain abilities where they can jump over things. You lay out a randomized galaxy strip. Whoa, creating over 100,000 unique scenarios. Can you imagine the replayability on this? Wait a minute, I need to get this now. Because if that's 100,000 unique scenario, that is really good. Like that. I don't know, like that just seems like, oh, I don't know, like it just seems, whoa, did you see them change? Wow, that's going to make for such a different play experience. 100,000 different play experiences. This is so good. Okay, that's enough of that. Choose one of 5 action cards and move to the next open spot and get strategic. So essentially, you have the choice of where you want to go on this road, and you play a card. Instead of drawing a card like Candyland, you play a card. Then you can collect boost cards to unlock special abilities. You can freeze time to interrupt your opponent's move and leap ahead. So you play 1 card and play 1 boost card. At least you have agency, right? You have agency. The thing that intrigued me was the idea where you get everybody in a row. You can have special abilities that jump over people, and like in this zany race game, this is a replacement for Candyland for sure. And having been forced to play Candyland over Easter, I can tell you no one should ever play that game ever again. So it might be good for kids, you know? $44 though, which makes it 61 Canadian and then plus shipping for a game that feels very basic. I don't know, people are talking about it like it's a deeply strategic game, and I just fail to see how that can happen. I also fail to see where the rulebook is, and I can only assume that's because there isn't one, and it is just this basic how to play section, right? Oh, if Candyland grew up and loved playing board games, this would be it. Look at that. Instantly, Candyland. Because you pick a card, you move to that next color. And if somebody's on that color, well, good, you can then play that card and move to the next color. A Candyland Takedo. I don't know, there's no rulebook here, so I don't know why anyone should ever bother purchasing it, really. Shipping rates, 16 to the US, 18 to Canada. Again, so that's like $90 for this game, which there's no potential, especially for a game that doesn't care about giving you the rulebook. Thank you, where's the rules? They own their own shipping company, so that's cool, but yeah, it doesn't seem, I don't know, if you have young kids, maybe, but again, do you want to spend $90 on it? Just give your kids a stick, and they'll just waggle it around and probably have just as good a time. I think that's what kids do. Give them a treat, give them a stick, give them a little pet. I don't know, it's something like that. That finishes Thursday, May 8th at 12:59 p.m. Moving along just briefly to Board Game Clothes Season 8 by Mr. Meeple. I think some people, last time I brought this up, people said that they liked the socks, I think. Or maybe that was something different. I don't know. If it was, congratulations, Mr. Meeple. You're benefiting from it. You can get a bunch of t-shirts. And how much are these shirts? One t-shirt is 33 Canadian, 21 euro. One t-shirt from Mr. Meeple. Well, let me tell you something. If you head on over to intotheam.com and you can look at their basic tees, this is in Canadian, it's 35. If you go to their sale, when there isn't, they always have sales, you can get awesome shirts like this for 12 bucks. Pack of the week, the polos. Oh, I did just get one of their polos, and their polos are like, they're really nice. They get a muscle tank, show your guns. Sorry, I mean, you know I love Into the AM, so everything that is a clothing, I have to compare to Into the AM, because I have to think, would I rather spend something on like really high quality stuff that I love, or would I spend it on something that I don't know the quality of? So if you know the quality of Mr. Meeple t-shirts, drop them down below. Tell me, how soft are they? That's the #1 bar. I want them to be super soft, and I don't want the designs to flake off. But they've been back. They're back now for, they've been around for how long? This is season 8? So they've been doing it for a while, and they're giving people nerdy shirts. And who doesn't love a great nerdy shirt? I do. It's my entire wardrobe. Ooh, and some nerdy hoodies too. That's a cute hoodie. That is a cute hoodie. All right, you're getting me on board, Mr. Meeple. Again, I would just, you know me, I'm obsessed with Into the AM. I can't help it. I can't help it. I love what I love. But if you love something different, well, that's sometimes allowed, as long as you still love me. That finishes on the 8th at 2 p.m. I just wanted to shout them out as well in case you missed it. Next up we have, I don't know if we have, yeah, okay, I'll talk about this because Portal game, so maybe it's okay for me. I just, war game throws me off, and the tokens that are up, like Fog of War style, I don't know, I see routes. Let's look at it briefly. I retain the right not to do a full deep dive into this. We have Race to Berlin. Race to Berlin is a war game depicting the last days of World War II in Europe. Players represent commanders of the Red Army and the Western Allies, but they also direct the German armies. The Soviet player moves them onto the Western Front, the Allied player on the Eastern Front, each trying to slow down their opponent. The goal is to beat your ally in a race to Berlin. Winner takes it all. It is like Rat Race, but World War II. Cool. Let's see the trailer. Oh, this is going to be enough. Wow, war game. Yeah, good one. So it's a 2-player war game where you don't directly attack each other, but you have a computer player that will attack each other that you get to control. Oh, wow. And there's only one reward, which is Race to Berlin Followers, a special reward for those who want to wait for a more stable tariff situation. We decided a special reward for U.S. backers. Is this the only one that's available to me because I was using a VPN when I... No, it's in Canadian. Change location to... It's only to the United States. Okay, so this is just a campaign for people to the United States, and it's just a campaign to say, hey, I'm kind of interested. I don't quite see the point of that campaign, but you're at least getting the word out. So there you go. Gameplay highlights. Let's look at these. Divide a limited pool of actions between attacking as the Allies or defending as the Germans. Okay, so you still use your actions for both. Resolve engaging battles, taking into consideration rivers, difficult terrains, fortifications, strengthen military units, and a touch of randomness. Oh, I know I would hate that. All the modifiers that you have to remember. Create and defend supply chains or cut off your enemies from theirs to force them to surrender. That's cool, so you can attack these routes that are happening. Dynamically shift the front lines. Oh, these are just the front lines. These are how much you control, essentially. Interesting. And when you control Berlin, you win. That's neat. Yeah, I think that is pretty neat. We do have a rule book. I'm going to take a little peek, but I don't think this really exists as a campaign right now. So they probably did all their pre-press, and then there was like, oh, it's tariffs. And they're like, oh, well, we can't do that. Shipping to Canada, 28 to 30. EU, 13 to 15. Poland. Yeah, is it just because, like, I'm not in the US. I'm located in Canada. What are you doing, GameFound? Show me something nice. Race to Berlin. Change the location. I want to change it to... Oh, no, I don't want... Oh, there we go. I just had to click an X. Okay, now I can look at it? Yeah, now I can see how much it costs. That's weird. It's 40 euro, though, 64 Canadian. And then it would be about 100 bucks. Okay. I'm interested to see how battles take place. That's what I'm always interested to see with games like this. I'm also interested to see how the action point system works. By the end of round 3, the player with the most victory points on the board wins if you don't take Berlin or you don't cause your opponent to lose. So a lot's going to happen in a round. I see. So you place your blocks out. These are your logistics blocks. These blocks will have a number on them. That's sort of the strength of whatever the action is going to be. And then in the action phase, you tip down your logistics block. You sort of reveal it to the opponent. And then you can then move units. Okay, no, these are your troops, your fog of war, your strength of your army that you're moving around, and you will eventually have to reveal it if you're fighting. Sometimes you won't have to reveal it. And then it's going to be all about manipulating these logistics blocks and increasing your strength so that you can take over key choke points in a war game and then expand your empire. I mean, it does look cool. It does look a little accessible. I think 90 is a fair price, honestly, for a little mini war game. I don't see it coming to wide retail. It's really not doing well in funding, though, so I don't quite know how this is going to land. I think it's a tough one, because I think more gamers may not find it as interesting as, like, the standard heavy chit-centric war games, because, like, this one was easy for me to ingest and understand, and I think war gamers don't like that sort of thing. They like convoluted complications. At least that's my experience. But I think being able to balancing the Germans doesn't really interest me that much as a hook, because it might as well be your troops. You know, choosing when to move yourself forward and when to attack them. You're going to have to balance that no matter what. I don't know. Maybe I'm changing my mind on that. Could be somewhat interesting. I don't know. I think it deserves more money than the support that has been shown right now. But honestly, some of that might have to do with this weird location delivery thing that GameFound's doing. I would probably play it, and I would probably enjoy it a medium amount. So I can say that for a lot of games, though. If you're interested, check it out. That finishes on the 8th at 2 p.m. We're moving on to Escape from Stalingrad Z Reloaded. The award-winning Escape from Stalingrad Z Reloaded is 1 to 3 player solo co-op versus narrative campaign game of tactical combat set in the horrific zombie plague of World War II. The famous zombie plague. I've seen Escape from Stalingrad Z a lot. It's come back before. It was in a print and play version, and then they got a nicer version, and then they're doing clearly an even nicer version. You have a scenario book, which I really like about it. You just work your way through this scenario book. And now they're giving you more things. It started really bare bones, right? And people clearly enjoyed the system enough that like, okay, well, they want this to be an actual game instead of like a print and play or a travel style game as well. Multifunctional, compact, double-layer dashboard. So you can get a dashboard to house all of your stuff. We'll be bundling this with the core box set to create a $59.95 pledge. That feels reasonable. And then you can get one that doesn't have the dashboards as well for $50. But I do like this as a concept because you can bling this out as much as you want. For me, I think it is wonderful as a little chit and token system in a scenario book. I thought it looked really cool as a solo game. I think some people in my Discord have gotten it and enjoyed it as well. And you're just working your way through scenarios as you go through the game. You're leveling up your character, you're getting additional items and going through the scenarios and killing all the... Let's go to gameplay, please. Killing all the zombies. It's a standard dungeon crawly style game. You'll have a number of movement points. You'll have items that show you the number of dice that you roll, the amount of damage that it will do. It can be used one hand, two hands, right? Standard dungeon crawling, equipping your character to fight off waves and hordes of baddies in a way that people have really reacted to positively. What's great is you can get a PDF of the rulebook and the first 5 scenarios. They've had that since the print and play days. They're like, listen, this is our game. Try it out, play it for yourself, see if it's any good. And if you would like, you can then get the Reloaded pledge, which has the dashboard or the Veterans 2D pledge, or the Lock and Load pledge, which has the new accessory set. I think this needs to be cleaned up very clearly, but essentially you would be paying about $100 for this scenario game, which started out cheaper at that like travel ready style. But people have responded to it. People enjoy the campaign. It's easy to get to the table because it does come in that scenario book. And yeah, I'm thrilled that it's doing well. I've always thought it looked good. And if you're interested in that, the finish is on the 8th at 4 p.m. Moving along to this one, Asilo. Nope, that was a TTRPG, so we're skipping it. Moving along to Good Puppers Too, an easy-to-learn card game featuring beautiful watercolor art of playful puppers, plus our collection of beautiful doggo pins. It's a standalone sequel to our cutest doggo game ever created, Good Puppers. Your task is to gather a bunch of dogs who want to bury a nice pile of yummy bones in the yard. 30 minutes. Rulebook is here. Great, let's look at it. I don't expect good things, but I expect cute art. You know, I expect people have gotten it because of the cute art. The fact that it's $49, though, for a very simple card game probably means that no one should ever get it, but we're going to look into it. I feel like I've probably looked at this before, but I do not remember if I did, and that is a sure indication that the gameplay is underwhelming. Your puppers want to bury bones in your yard. Face-up cards are pups. Face-down cards are bones. So it's like that weird graveyard one. Maybe it's just like a skinning of that. When you play a pupper, use its effect. Bury bones here. Becomes bury 2 bones here because you have 2 golden. How do you get your cards, though? That's my question. Just draw them from a random deck? Oh, that's cool. That's easily identifiable. They all have a code. So if your puppies are the 80s, you'll put them all and they'll all chain together. Fill the dog part. Reveal 1 card per player from the deck. Place them all. And then you draft. Each player picks one of the 3 cards in their hand. Oh, so you play a card from your hand and then whoever played the lowest card, it takes... Oh, in order from highest to lowest, players take their next turn. Oh, and if you've played the lowest, then you get an additional... So at least there's some decision-making to be. It's kind of King Domino-esque. That's not bad, right? Where if you're playing a higher card, maybe you're not incentivized to play that higher card at this point in time, but you need to play it in order to secure a better card from the draft. There's a potential interest there. There's some sort of thumping happening outside right now. You'll scare away all the puppers! Yeah, you know, this looks cute enough. This looks better than what I was expecting it to be, for sure. You're just trying to chain these cards together. Seems like it would be a fun enough, quick little card game. However, the fact that it's $49 or 68 Canadian, and then plus shipping to the States, sure, it's $6 or $9. I'm still paying $80 for like a card game. that I would rather play something like Silver instead. You can get Silver at your store for 20 bucks. I just don't think that there's any value here, unfortunately. I think it would, again, it would be fine, be a fine game, but only that. And I don't think you should spend $90 on a fine game, on a card game, right? But if you're interested in that, that finishes Thursday, May 8th at 8 p.m. We're not moving along to this Vesta, a strategy and survival board game, because it did the $1 pre-pledge, and it's only raised $12,000 of its $12,000 goal. So all of that money is in Launch Boom's pocket, and what a shame. But we are going to move on to this. Neon Hope, Cyberpunk meets Solarpunk, a storytelling game in a glitched utopia. It's raised a bunch of money. It's a storytelling card game. $15 US tariff limit guaranteed. Doesn't mean the game's $15. It means you'll pay an additional $15 just because. It's nice that they're guaranteeing it. I guess it's a reasonable bet to make. All gameplay, €99. This is €69 for the base game. This is tough. This is the problem with storytelling games. It's kind of just a big choose your own adventure style game. It says it's fully cooperative. I don't see how you would enjoy playing this cooperatively. It's inspired by games like Arkham Horror the Card Game and Netrunner. Bringing together strategic card play and captivating story. Okay, well maybe there's something different then. We gotta go to the how to play section, because all it looks like right now is stat checks that you modify with other cards. You check your matching attribute with a boosted card. You flip over modifiers to see you succeed or not. You recruit people so that you have more things, and then the story always continues. Like that's not a good pitch. Okay, you can purchase power-ups. There are threats, so it's not just stat checks. A unique mechanic to modify skill tests. Revealed modifiers are not shuffled back, allowing you to strategize and plan your next action. That doesn't sound fun either. It's a 5-act campaign. You're searching for things. You always get... It's like a Telltale game where you never die. Each playthrough spans 5 episodes of 90 to 120 minutes each. I'm very confused by this. I see nothing interesting here. You choose a character, you have a number of cards, you're reading cards, you're reading the story deck. It's not even like a storytelling game. You're not improvising either. You're just reading the cards and saying, hey, do I hit the stat check? Do I not? It's just a choose your own adventure book, right? You can perform 3 actions on your turn. You can choose the order in which they take their turns, change location, activate, perform a task like investigate, get support, fight, or hack. In all of them, they're going to just check your stat. And then you just have to manage these enemies, which, again, you do a stat check to flip them down. This looks awful. I do not get this. I do not see the appeal whatsoever here. This looks just atrocious. Shipping is €8. US is €24. Canada's €34. You're paying $100 for a bunch of cards to look at stat checks and flip over tokens. This just a middling story. I have no idea why this is doing so well. Maybe somebody in the comments can tell me what I missed and what the actual gameplay is. You're just moving from location and say, oh, I have a courage stat. I'll use my courage stat here. Seems like the most obvious gameplay mechanics ever. Just watch a movie or read a book, right? Like, I don't understand it. I'm happy for them that it's doing well, but I certainly do not understand it in the slightest. Hopeful games. I had hope, but this killed it. That finishes Thursday, May 8th at 11 p.m. Moving along, we're going to this one, Paw by Paw. Your dog is scratching at the front door because it's time for another walk in the park. Try to make it as fun as possible, but also avoid the temptations your dog might encounter. I'm still reeling from horrible that other game looked. Yuck. Okay, tell me how to play. There's going to be 4 dog maps, dog parks. Grab 3 dice and a pencil. It's a print and play. Your dogs are going to catch a thief in one of them. That's fun. How to play. You roll 3 dice. You use the results simultaneously to move around their own personal map. You choose 1 die to move on the park map. A line is drawn. Use the 2nd die to let your dog sniff around the park. And the 3rd die is used for various interactions depending on where your dog currently is in the park. Bushes are for peeing. People are for meeting. Well, depends. Sometimes people are for peeing and bushes are for meeting. So maybe it's a very nice bush, okay? Maybe we know that the studies are true, that when you scream at a bush over and over and over again, and then you walk into the plant room, the bush is going to wilt away. Is that why all my plants are dying? They're all dying. They're all dead. There's no saving them. After 16 rounds, the dog with the most points wins the golden dog ribbon. Sure. I mean, that seems pretty simple. We're going to take a quick look at the rules. If you like print and plays, this is one to check out. It's over on GameFound. Well, we might look at the rules. Each map is going to be different. I played a really good roll and write. I'm playing a really good roll and write recently. A review for that will be coming out soon. For En Route, that one was good. Each dog has its own talent that scores points. Okay, cool. We recommend each player use a different dog to make the game more interesting. Yeah. You should. You can never land in the same space twice in a game, but you can go through lines, so that's okay. So it's wherever you stop to sniff. You know, seems cute enough. Nothing mind-blowing, but cute enough. If you want a 3-map combo, it's €9. Or if you just want the base map, it's €4. As far as print plays go, this one doesn't really jump out to me, but I think it's cute enough. So you might want to try it, feel like throwing a couple bucks down. Hey, check it out. That finishes on the 9th at 2 p.m. Moving along quickly to Nexus Arena Combat System, the Tariff Survival Campaign. Essentially, I've covered Nexus a bunch. Nexus is a free-for-all battle royale. You play as the Lannisters who want to cause as much pain as possible in the arena. It doesn't matter if your people die, as long as they die gloriously, as long as they provide a lot of entertainment to the people who are watching. And so there's a bunch of different traps you can interact with. It's big old brawl. You want to push people into traps, hit them in the face with fire, push them into spikes, etc. It looks okay. Again, it looks okay. Nothing mind-blowing. Looks okay. This is its 3rd or 4th time it's been on the channel. But they're having a clearance sale. A clearance sale for stuff in their US warehouse to raise money to pay additional taxes and tariffs. So if you didn't want to pay the whole thing, it's $120 with free US shipping. Pretty decent. Fulfillment in June. Essentially, they just have a big old warehouse filled with a bunch of copies, and they're saying, well, we'll raise a bunch of money for it. So if this Battle Royale ever felt like something you're interested in, you can check it out. They need immediate funding to pay for the current wave of product, whether that be for storage while we wait this out directly, or etc. So they are doing a fire sale. Oh my god, we're having a fire sale! So because they need money to pay for the additional costs, they are selling their stock for cheaper. They're getting a cash infusion, and you can benefit off of global economic turmoil if you wanted it. This is one of the best prices I think I've seen it at. If memory serves, you can go back and we can look at their various campaigns and how much it cost. Nexus, let's look way back to the Arena Combat System and how much it was being sold for. Was $120, right? Way back, just the base box was being sold for $120, and you're getting additional stuff. And plus inflation has hit. So we can know that it's really hit them hard, and this is the best deal of people. If you were interested in the system, I figured I would point it out. Okay, moving along. We've got a couple more, nothing interesting, and then we can end with a grunt down of nothing interesting, and probably no pick for me or pick for you, but hey, I'm happy you're here. I hope you're having a good day. And you can get this one, which is the motto of the Liberal Party of Canada. Aim for the middle. Aim for the middle with your cards. A heated brain battle card game with a brand new system. Sure, you're playing cards and you try to get the middle number? Seems like that might be it. MIDT. Yeah, you want to mid it. Get it in the middle. Party battle for 4 players. Intense duel mode for 2 players. Okay. You know, this music, this vaudevillian piano playing itself is easing the troubled rage in my soul. Distribute all cards 1 to 20. Use addition and subtraction to play your cards strategically. In the end, the player who plays the exact middle card gets the points. Please briefly explain the rules for 2 players. Why, thank you. First player to 5 points wins. Play your last card together. All right. 10 cards to each player. We know that they're 1 to 20. You place a card on the line. Find the middle card. Okay, what are the restrictions on playing cards, though? So you're going to play 5 cards. Sold out in 10 minutes on day 1 of Japan Game Market. What? Now with an English manual. English manual. Give me the English manual. I need it. It says addition and subtraction cannot be performed at this stage. So I guess you can add your cards together to put them in the middle. So the back of all the cards have how you can play them. I'm intrigued by this. Learn while playing. Kids enjoy math and addition and subtraction naturally because you're trying to get them in the middle. Play your cards with addition and subtraction to end up in the center. Create a same number card with addition and subtraction, discard the existing one. So that's something interesting of potentially adding up your cards together. You know that your opponent has 120. I bet it's solvable depending upon what cards you have in your hand. I don't know how many cards you're supposed to play. It says you play until everybody has 1 left, but if you're playing 2 cards to add and subtract, no. But it lets you do some adding and subtracting. Sure, it's 21 Canadian. Japan only, market pickup. Okay, market pickup. Shipping plan is 24 Canadian and more. 61 Canadian to get this to get this into my hands. Certainly not. I'm intrigued. Maybe if you're at the Japan market, you could pick it up. I don't know. It just seems fine. It's just adding and subtracting to me. Maybe it's good for kids. I don't know. What a weird one. That finishes Saturday, May 10th at 11:55 p.m. I don't expect it to get better over here. But it's Flippers, an Antarctic fight for food. Teams of penguins and seals compete to stash as much food away as they can. Use card powers on every turn to bump, spin, flip, and win. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Sayu, which was a game I got sent a while ago that I wasn't a fan of, and I didn't want to keep. That makes sense. Okay, I mean, I think it's potentially solid. How much money are you? £18, 34 Canadian. Nah. So essentially the game, everybody has the same team, or they might be different, but I think that they're the same. You're going to play a card, and whatever it's pointing at, it does that thing. And so you want to gather all this food, these food cards, and there's also food on the back of all your cards as well. Maybe not. No, there isn't. That's a lie. But you want the food, wherever this food is pointing, you'll get those at the end of the round. And so you need to place cards to affect the other cards. You can block cards from getting an effect. You can rotate cards. You can push cards around. So you're constantly shifting this slide puzzle style of game and trying to come out on top. 2 to 6 players. You have 9 Explorer cards to pick from to assemble their team. Oh, you have to discard a set amount of these cards before starting the game. So depending upon the player count, I guess. I like that too, that you draft your hand, you see what powers you're going to use. Other people don't know that you don't have a block, you don't have a flip, you don't have a push, etc. Your explorers will stumble across crates of food, which will award points at the end of the game. Neat enough. It's $34. Shipping to the UK is £5 in pounds. Woof. Canada's 15. So again, this turns into like a $64 game, like a $60 game, 59, whatever. And that's just insane. Just an insane choice. If you're in the UK, I still think it's an insane choice. I still think it's way overpriced, and that's likely why it hasn't raised as much money as it has. I think it looks fine. Like, again, a totally fine, passable fare. Nothing offensive other than the potential price, I guess. I think it's just fine, you know? It's a 3 out of 5. It's okay. 5 out of 10. That finishes Thursday, May 11th at 1:30 p.m. And finally, we are here, which I'm excited about because I like Dr. Finn. Dr. Finn's book of solo strategy and word games. 8 fast and fun solo games to play anywhere with a dice and a pencil. No cutting required. Oh, you don't even have to cut them. Perfect. You just need a dice and a pencil. You know, like all of those other solo games where you have to cut the board. Yeah, it's famous. That's one of the reasons why I dislike solo games, honestly, is because every time I play them, I have to take scissors to all the cards afterwards. I've gone through so many villains in Final Girl and characters too, and sure, I've won and I've lost, and that makes it feel a little bit more visceral by just using tools to physically cut apart your game after every play. Sometimes you don't want to do that, and finally, Dr. Finn is addressing those issues to people. Finally, we have somebody who's looking out for the little guy, you know? Where only pencil and dice are required. No cutting is required. Finally, we have a print and play that there's no cutting required. Thank goodness. It's going to be published through Amazon. You back for $1, you get a PDF of Nanga Parbat. It's a special printed home solo game. $3, you get to choose which one you want. $9, you get the 3 word games in the book. $15, you get the 5 strategy games in the book. And then for $20, you get everything. So you get it for $20, or you can wait until it's on Amazon, and then it's $10. Seems like you should just wait. I guess you get the PDF so you can print them out again. There'll be 8 copies of each game sheet. To get even more use, you can clip the game sheets to laminate them or make copies, sure. You need 1 to 5 dice. You can use fences to build pens for the animals. You can race to different planets before hostile alien races reach them. You can capitalize on an IP with the little flower shop open for business. You can plan out and construct your ideal city while fulfilling zoning requirements. You can crunch the numbers, basically playing Sudoku. You can spell it out. Fill a crossword 1 random letter at a time to create a complete puzzle of legitimate words. You can word wrap, just taking that thing that you did at the New York Times online, but now you're paying for it. And here you can cross out random letters so that words remain. There's a bunch of how to play videos. I mean, I like you, Dr. Finn. I do. I just don't see why people don't play the New York Times puzzles and get everything that you're offering for free. Is that bad? Let's pick one. Let's pick a perfect city. So it's like tiny towns. It's tiny towns with different shape symbols. I don't know. I guess they're okay. I'd say just wait for the book. $10 for the book feels okay. $20 for the PDFs when they're just going to be printed in the book and they're not like replayable because they're word games. I mean, what do you want? What's the calculation here? I don't think there is one. You sign up for $1 and you get it for $10 down the line with an Amazon free shipping sort of thing. And you can use my affiliate link. No, I mean, I signed up for Amazon affiliate once upon a time, and I just put the link down in the description. And I don't know, if you're going to buy something on Amazon, go click that link first, and maybe I'll get something out of it. You're going to buy it anyway. I don't think that's really how it works, but I thought that maybe might be how it works, and that's all I'm willing to invest in the time for the Amazon affiliate account. I want to like these. I was excited about them, and everything just underwhelms me so much, unfortunately. But if you're interested, I think the play is back it for $1, then wait till it's on Amazon, and then get it at Amazon. Or just get the strategy games for the 15. You get it's for $3, or just look through them and get one for $3. Actually, that's the play. If there's one that you feel is more replayable, maybe the Making a City or the Pen Pals, because it's kind of what it is. It's like, I don't know. That finishes Monday, May 12th at 11:59 p.m. That's it. That's it. That's it for the week. I'll tell you this. My stomach is in knots by how much I have disliked the games this week. You know? It's just, it just like has ruined board gaming for me. But let's see if I'm overreacting. We're going to do a little crowdfunding grunt down to remind ourselves what came before. No. Fish. No. Yeah. No. Nah. Yeah. Absolutely not. Meh. Yeah. And what an awful week. It makes sense because maybe the good games are waiting till the tariff situation finishes up. I don't know. It just all looked so bad. And there's no pick for you. There's no pick for me. Absolutely not. I'm just so depressed. Normally there's one game in there that like makes me stand up and go, yeah, okay, this could be good. I mean, the flippin' one, the flippers was a nice surprise that there was actually a game there, so that's a positive. The good puppers was a nice surprise, but generally this was just truly bad. So I'm sorry that I made this episode, really. But the news isn't always great. You're not always going to have a budgie on water skis going down the highway, right? That happens on a rare occasion. When you do, you take out your camera, you take some photos, and you enjoy it. Otherwise, it's death, destruction, taxes, politicians saying they'll do better than the other person, and then not following through, people believing, people hoping, nihilism creeping in. I don't know. This has just been really disappointing and devastating. A devastating week. But it's not devastating because guess what? There's nothing that you ever have to feel like you needed to purchase whatsoever. At all. Nothing at all. You can save the money in your wallets. You can play the games on your shelves because guess what? We all have a ton of games on our shelves that we love and that we enjoy and that we can invest our time in. Or at least you can, because I spend all my time doing this. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all. I'll keep on mucking through it for you all because that's what I do. That is my pledge. Chris George, keep on mucking. Is that the catchphrase? You never know. I don't really have a catchphrase, so it could be. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time. Oh, worst part is I gotta go through that more than once. I gotta edit it. Ridiculous.